record on. Okay. Lift this up a little bit. That a little bit closer. All right, can you guys hear me? Yes? No? Maybe
Yes.
so. Yes.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, yeah.
Should be super
Yes.
loud. Okay. Um, there's some things we should take care of first. And then we'll go through everything else. I want to show you guys something. It's a new feature that VO has. We're going to go through all the games today. So let's just take an example. People are getting on here. Let's wait for them to get on. So let's just start with the 2011s. Let's just take that as an example here. Okay. So I'm going to share in the chat. Okay, I'm going to do this in the chat. I'll do it actually. Let's do this right now before I get into here. Teams. I'll do this for every single team first. View members, I think it is. Yeah. Invite members. Team contributor. Let's do team editor. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay. So that is for 2011. We're going to do this for everyone. So we're just going to use the 2011 there for as an example. Okay. So don't worry. I promise we'll get through everyone. All right. So what's cool is that now I want you to go into this chat and accept that invitation. If you haven't done so, that'll be you'll be able to sign into VO. You can now, what's really cool is you can go into the game, select a formation. We're playing 6-a-side, but just for the sake of it, we'll do I don't know, what is it? Let's custom. Let's do oops. I don't know how to customize this, but anyway, we play a 2-1-2, so it's not really here, but what's total chaos? That seems interesting. Okay, anyway, I guess it's going to be a lot tougher with this, but anyway, let's just take a 2-1-1 for example. Okay, you can now actually go in and you can give a jersey number. So let's say we've got Jeffrey, what number are you? Just because we can see you here.
21.
What number? 31? Like this?
21.
21. Thank you. So we can add a player there. Put him here.
Wait, Jeffrey, you're not 21. I'm 21.
Did we get that mixed up? Okay. Anyway. So we can put this as our center mid. Let's put this as 21. So you can I messed that up. Okay, line up. Here we go. Where are you? Anyway, you guys can go in and figure it out, but essentially you can go into your team and then you can put in your position. Yusuf, what number are you?
22.
Okay, so then we can put 22 here, then add player, and then it's going to track you, right? So I can remove that. And then you just add based on your position. Okay, so we can do that with all of them. We'll go through each one as we get there. Let's look into our analytics for the 2011 game. So what was really good is that Felipe, this wasn't for you. Felipe, oh, sorry, you're right. My fault. You're right. It was for you. Let's talk about this game. We'll go through every game and then I'll do chat for every game as well. So 58% possession, really great, really, really great. The problem this weekend, I thought, was the same thing that we've had for a while now, which is simply that we're just not consistent for the whole game. Usually we have one really good half and then one half when we're just not as concentrated. So we make little mistakes and those end up in goals against us. Now, what you'll realize in indoor is because we're playing a lot less. So we're playing 6v6 instead of the outdoor, which for the 2011s will be 11v11, or the 2012s, which would be 9v9. Because we're playing less players, any mistake that you make in the game is a big mistake, right? Now, mistakes are fine. They happen throughout the game. So don't stress out. We had some mistakes here in the 2011 game. Um, but we just have to be more aware of that it's going to happen, right? So if we look at the stats here, 58% possession, they had more shots than us. Uh, we have more passes completed, more possession. We talked about that. Let's look at our shots. Oh, wait, I want my pass strings. I love this one. Okay, so this looks really good for me here. I want most of our passes to be in that 5 range. Okay, so we had most of our passes in our 3 range. So I'm looking for that number to be higher. Longest pass streak was 7, which is pretty good. Where is the other stuff here? Let's see, pass location. Sorry, possession location. That's what we want. Okay, so it's not bad. Looks pretty even throughout the game. I don't mind that. Okay, I thought we did pretty well. Usually the way most teams play against us and in general is that their center mids are the best players, right? Let me see if I can make this better quality. Nope, I cannot. Um, so we have to make sure, especially because Felipe is our goalkeeper, right? And he's just doing it because he's awesome. Uh, you know, that we just don't let shots come in, right? So this was their only good player, and we have to recognize that pretty early on. And we've played these teams before, so we should know they're great players. Okay. Again, a really great job, I think, of keeping possession, right? And Jeffrey, I like how you're shifting. Okay, that was just wrong way. Now we've made this mistake, and Jotien, I want you to watch this because this is really important. The only team really that has a goalkeeper that can play really long is the 2012s when Mert plays in goal, right? Other than that, our goalkeepers don't really go, they can't really kick that hard yet. So when the goalkeeper has the ball, we can't really go long. We got to come short. And we'll see this a lot with the 2014 game that we would end up losing the ball because the goalkeeper would try and go long, and then our center mid was nowhere to be found, right? I like how you're shifting, Jeffrey. So when he has it, okay, that's your indicator to show more, okay? Right. And that's how we ended up losing possession here. Yeah. Okay, great tackle. Yeah, it's a good save. Okay, but a really great start and a really, really good first half, I think, in general for us, especially for that 2011 team. Let's look, since we have a lot of 2011s today, I also want to look at the analytical studio. Okay, this is, whoops. This is where you can actually go in and look at how we've been doing. Okay. So this is our past 10 games here. Who is this against? Hearts. Yeah. And the consistency is the problem. We have really, really fantastic games, right? Like really, really good games where we keep a lot of possession and we really control the game. And then we have really, really bad games where it just seems like we forget keeping possession. Our goals is something that we're really struggling with this team. We're not getting enough goals. Now, we've gotten Marsa, and he's now really helped us with the goals. Our shots also aren't that much, right? So that's something that we'll be looking at moving forward with this team to get better. But I'm really starting to see, and there were moments in this game where I turned to Omar and I said, listen, we've got a team here. I'm very proud of how good we've gotten with you guys this year. considering where we started. And now, in situations like this, where now Etobicoke is, I think, in second place. So we really, really had them, scared for most of this game, and we controlled it, right? So, again, it's going to be about finding a really good goalkeeper, for us and for outdoor. Okay. And it just seems like the press is really good, except what's the problem here?
Who's not cutting?
Yeah, that's correct. And because of that, right, that's how they're able to get out here. Okay. And that really has to be the most important thing. Because other than that, you know, I think our pressing is really good. Good. And that's great defending there, Jeffrey, staying in between. And that's fantastic keeping possession. I love it. Okay. The one thing I've noticed with us is our defending is getting a lot better in general as well. And I think that's really because of what we do on Tuesdays. So please come on Tuesdays, right? Just please come on Tuesdays, right? So this is what I was talking about. That as soon as we lose that ball in the middle, we're in trouble there. Right. So, Jeffrey, you have to really think about how can I find space? And the goalkeepers, I'll have a conversation with them, but they need to start Felipe going to the wings a lot more. Oh, perfect. Okay. And that was right. What happened here? Okay. We left our player. We didn't cut the lane. And then that, you know, that a goalkeeper would have stopped. So again, I don't really count these goals that we're getting scored on because once we bring in a goalkeeper, which is something 2011 should be looking for, also 2012s should be looking for a goalkeeper, then none of this would happen. Okay. Overall, I was very pleased with this. We're really, really starting to compete with the 2011. So very good job, you guys. Let's move on to the 2012s. And whoops, let me do the same thing for the 2012s as well. Teams. Let's go view members. Invite members, team contributor. I'll give you guys the edit. And now you'll actually be able to go in and edit highlights. And I'll show you how to do that as well for all of you. 2012. And you can do this yourself. I'll show you how to do this right now while we start the 2012 game. And the 2012s, it's the consistency. We're having trouble again playing that full 90 minutes. First half, fantastic. Second half, we just kind of lost it. Okay. I'll find a highlight here. Shouldn't be that tough because we had a really good first half, and then I'll add it in. Okay. So let's do that. Okay, so let's say I want to say, fantastic pass by Matthew. I'll go to this plus button here, and then there's a list of things that I can tag. So I can say, for example, building out of the back, right? And then I can go at, and then I can say Matthew. I can change this here as well. This is the actual length of the highlights. So here you can see that pass. And then I can go down and click create clips. All the clips that you see, they'll go up in the highlight list. You can also filter here as well. You can filter by attack. You can go down, filter, and then you can filter by events as well, right? Um, so we could just do goals, for example. And then I can go to this little arrow on the button, and then I can download that onto the computer and then have that there. Okay, let's look at the analytics here. Again, total domination throughout the game, 57. That's really where we want to be. We want to be 56 to 60. Anything over 60 just means that it's too much and we're not doing anything with the ball. Anything other than under, sorry, 56 means that they really competed against us and we weren't really able to control the game. Okay. Let's look at the rest of them. Shots. It's just something we're all struggling with. The teams right now is getting shots off. Passes, not a problem. Possessions, not a problem. I'm guessing the passing strings are going to be really high. Yeah, 16. That's pretty good. 2011 so far had 7 strings. So they're right now the highest for this week. Okay. It's really good breaking the lines here. We've already seen that. Okay, good. Okay, so that was a problem there. It should have been the center mid, so that was Felipe. I mean, to pick up a player. Okay, let's see how we're doing with the popping open. Is that something that we're working a lot on in practice? Where's CN? Okay, let's go back 5 seconds here. Okay, so let's see where you are, CN. So I actually let's remember here that when the goalkeeper has the ball, I don't want you to be hugging the line. I want you to be a little bit more in and always behind the player, right? So if we see CN now, okay, he's in line. I would rather you be behind. And then I guess you were behind, so that I don't mind. Maybe then now create that passing lane there so that we can take that first touch forward. That's okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, so here again, it's a great ball there by Matthew. Okay, I like the shift by CN. That's good cutting the lane there, Eduardo. And then we win it back. Nice try. A little too slow, Savannah. So to make that decision quicker. And I think that's something that you need to work on, Savannah, just making quicker decisions, whatever those decisions are. And then we should be able to recognize, right, that there's just too many here. So we have to scatter them, right? And scattering can be attracting, it can be resetting the balls and then attracting them up and just spreading them out. Because the more spread out they are, the more when we get possession and when we get the ball, the chances are we're going to be 1v1. And the more spread out they are, the more space that we can play with, right? Okay. Good. So again, Savannah and CN should be in. I like how CN is behind. And what's going to be cool is if this player keeps going with you, you just keep going. Because if Savannah keeps going this way and he keeps coming with her, what does that do?
Create space.
Yeah, it creates all this space for our defender, for Eunice to bring that ball up. And if we can bring that ball up to half, that's where we want to maintain control. We always want to have, ideally, we want to have a player here, and this is where we want to be in control. And then we've got our goalkeeper out here so that we can always play in diamonds. I mean, in triangles here in case we get in trouble. And then this player, we're looking for the wings. And if nothing, right away reset back or that. But we have a habit of having to go all the way back to the goalkeeper and the goalkeeper's all the way back here. And then we have to now reset completely, and everyone pushes back, and it defeats the whole purpose of us getting up the field. Okay. The great Maradona. Okay. And then now this is exactly where we should be. Mert should be higher. This is exactly what I like. Okay. Eunice is too close. Okay. He should be wider so that he's got that space and he can make that quick pass to Savannah. Okay. But that's where we should be. Matthew should now be higher. So should Mert, which is great. Okay. And now we could have, I would guess we have total control of this situation. Okay. Cian's off his man. And then now Mert has the ball. And then we get back. Okay. I don't know what the call was there. Good. That's it. Okay. Just not finding feet there. Okay. That should be a reset. And I don't mind that. Long ball when we're in trouble. Good. Nice try. That's it. Okay. And again, doing really good things. That was just a mess up on the 1v1. Okay. Not really trying to move. Savannah not staying with her player. What time is it? 6:37. I thought for me, the player of the game was, I would say, personally, I would say Eduardo was the player of the game. Did really good. Okay. Especially later on in the second half when we really struggled as a team.
He never gave up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Okay, yeah, that's the press that we want. And Eduardo did really well. Okay, so again, in this type of game, don't forget we can always go into this, which is the little formation thing. We can set the formation. You guys should know the formation at this point. See 7v7. We're playing a 2-3-1. Okay. It'll show left back that these are the midfielders. Okay. So right now, Savannah, you're playing on the left side. Thing. Oh no, that was okay, but this is starting. So this is where you started. If you were off, then you would add yourself as a substitute, but it's exactly where you started in the game, right? So if I were to go Felipe as a center mid, I would click number 11. Right, 11. Well, that's fine. Okay, 11. Then I would add the player, and then now you can see C in there. Matthew, what number are you?
9.
Right. So then I can go in, I could do that for Matthew, 9, and add player. Now you can do this for games. And then it'll track you. You can go into player profiles, I think, and it should. I'm not really sure. This is all brand new stuff that they've come up with. Yeah, I love that fake shot. Good, excellent. Now that's control. Okay, that's a great ball. Okay, and that's just really good team control. I love that. Okay, Eunice needs to give himself more space. Matthew's on the weak side, so Matthew should be behind. Okay, here I would argue that we should have reset. We got the call. Okay, and this again, this is what I want to see in the free kicks. Okay, it's a fake shot from the player. There, roll back, and then a shot. That's fantastic. The only thing I would add to that is that Felipe shouldn't even be standing there with him. Felipe should be standing over here, right there. And that ball should be rolled this way because now we've got a shooting lane here. So they're not even looking at Felipe. They're thinking, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing because it's two touch. So he goes in to shoot, and then we just touch the ball into a shooting lane, and that's it. We don't need to talk. He just goes in here. And we can also just have two players in general, right? So we can have one player here, and then we can have one player there on each side. And then it's his decision after his fake shot who he goes to. Simple as that. Okay. Yeah, that's a great reset there. Great ball. Excellent. Except again, Eunice is passing. Just needs to be a proper pass. Right. I really want us to, as a team, love the switch. Okay. So really getting the ball from side to side. That for me is our next level and what we're really missing. That's a great goal here and a great cross by Eduardo. Okay. Absolutely fantastic. But when we can start switching the ball from side to side, and we used to be able to do this with the 2012s really well, then you'll really, really start to see the 1v1s open up on the wings. And that's what we want. I want to find an example when we get the ball back here. Okay, here, excellent. That's exactly what I wanted. So that should now be looking for Savannah, who's coming wide. Okay. And if Savannah turns, let's see where this ball goes. Yeah, just a mistake there by Matthew. That's okay. Let's get it back to him. Okay. If Savannah should be scanning, and let's say, let's make this full screen. Okay, so Savannah goes wide, right? And she gets this ball. And let's say, I know it's not happening here, but this player follows her. And this guy shifts like he should. And this guy stays on Eduardo. Okay, then it's got to be that one touch back to Matthew. And then we switch that ball. And as that switch is happening, CN gets big. And then now CN should have that 1v1 to go. And again, if the same thing, if they do a really good job of shifting, then we just keep switching that ball and looking for that winger to get that 1v1 opportunity. And what you're looking for here as the winger is simply you're scanning before that ball comes to you. If you see a 1v1, then you need to have a move in mind. And it's got to be the setup within your first touch. So if that first touch is there, okay, to get him to bite in for that Maradona, or maybe it's even there to bite him so you can go Maradona there. It can also be a scissors if you can get that touch forward dribble with that scissors this way and then cut in, whatever that is. I don't care what that 1v1 move is, but when we start really switching the ball, whoops, from one side, and it's not this, it's that to there and keep going back and forth. Ooh, that's where we want to be for every team in every single formation. That's really what we're looking for. Okay. Let's exit out of this. We're at 45. Let's go to the 2014s. This was the game that I was not there for, but I watched. Okay, let's see who's on here from 2014. Yes, perfect. Okay, exactly who I wanted. Okay, I'm just gonna jump to certain. Oh, sorry. Let me do the thing. Lucas, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. There's just one thing that I want to show you. Edit team. Okay, by the way, we can go through your highlights actually.
Okay.
Okay, so here, team editor, copy link. So then let's go 2014 there. Okay, so you guys can go in there if you want. Recordings. Okay, so I do want to show all the Lucas highlights just for now. Okay, so again, to get in here, you go into highlights. Whoops. Highlights. Then you can go into this. It's always the three dots, filter, I can go into event tags and then I'll look down. I created already these highlights for Lucas. Okay. And then I tagged his mom there. So it'll go straight to her email. Okay. This was a really good stop. Okay. Now you weren't in the middle of the net, but a fantastic stop. Okay. Then there was this one. Great stop. And then a double. Great job. Okay. And this is what I want to show here. Okay. So I'm actually going to slow it down here. Okay. So this is what we're working on, Lucas. So you came out, you stopped there, you hesitated. I want you to come out and challenge that right away. Eventually you did. Okay. You came out really well. You came out a little too late. And then right when this happens, knee should come down, right? And instead, your both feet are coming down. So if your knee came down first, that would have been great. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, does that make sense, Lucas?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we can do the same thing here as well. If you don't see a lineup, then you can select that formation. You go to 7, right? 2, 3, 1. Okay, that's it. Yeah, there you go. Okay. The one thing that we're doing a lot of with our passing is that the passes just aren't hard enough. And it makes it so much tougher to move the ball with speed. Okay. This is great, Jetien. Okay. This is where I want you to be. A lot of the times, though, in the game, when Vafa has it, Lucas has it, you end up going up and we end up losing the ball. I want that midfielder, that center mid. So on the call, that's Jetien, that's Lucas, that's Jeffrey. I want you behind the wingers. Okay. So just be so if we draw that, whoops, if we draw a straight line there, we're just in front of them. Okay. Or behind them, depending on how you want to look at it. Right. And we should be shifting over to come and help out. And then we can connect everyone here. Okay. Remember, you're the bridge holding everything together. Okay. Good. So when we lose that ball there, that's why you're still there, Jetien. Okay, Neelan, you struggled a lot this game with staying back. Okay, and we'll see that throughout the game as well. Okay, so if we stop this here, then we can see that first time that that happens, Neelan. Okay, so look at where you are in relation to the player, right? It's a great ball. It's a good reset. So this right here is what I want to get used to. When we have the ball and we reset once, if we reset, it means we can't go back. So we got to switch that ball. Okay. And here we switch it. And that almost ends up in the first goal. Okay. Simply because we did the right things. Okay. And then now we see Neelan, who's out of position. Right. And that ends up in a breakaway. It's a great save by Lucas, even though it wasn't going in anyway. But this is the problem defense. Neelan, you have to stay back. Does that make sense? Yes, Neelan? See if Neelan's on here. Neelan. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, good. So here's an example of that, Jetien. Okay. So Lucas has it, and then you're going high. You're in front of the wingers, right? Lucas miskicks it, and then now I want us thinking if we mess up, there's 4 players. All it takes is one touch in, and then we are done here. Okay. Just completely done. So we really have to think about that, Jetien. Okay. The other problem in this game was Noah. Noah didn't stay high enough. Forwards need to stay high. Okay. Good reset. And again, right, Jetian just out of that position there. Okay, I can see it. I understand it. You were shifting over to help out. That makes sense. I get that. That's fair. Maybe that was just a misplaced pass by Lucas. Okay, so again, Jetian, you're really high. Okay. So think about that turnover, what would happen? So, oops. So instead, can we find the space in between, right? So that that ball can come, we can turn, and then we can play that ball forward, or we could even play that ball through. Okay. That's what we need. Okay. I still want you to be maybe behind. That's fine. I don't mind that, but just a little closer in case we mess up. Okay, and that's why we lost the ball because you were both on the same line. Okay, I think this is the goal. This is an excellent goal, I think, if this is the goal that happens. Noah's goal was phenomenal. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Look at this goal. Boom. And boom. Great goal. Just a great, great goal all around. Okay. Again, we had the same problem. Oh, let's look at our stats. Okay, 55. I would say this is one of our lower possession games. We'll look at that in a second. They had 40 shots, which just means we were turning it over a lot. We had more passes. Look at our pass strings. Okay, that's actually not bad. Our longest passing streak was 9, which is fantastic. And this is the number that I really like. We connected 5 times. I want to see that higher. Why 5? Let's talk about why 5. Okay. How can I set this up properly? All right, let's do it like this. So we have our goalkeeper, we have our defense, center, winger, and forward. So 5 because we get that ball, we build out of the back. 1, and then we got to get the ball to either the center mid or the winger. 2, okay. Now we've done 2. We can look to maybe try and get forward. 3, 4 in here, and then we're out. Okay. That's a 5 that I love. Okay. Another way we can do 5 is in here. Once we get that ball in their half. Okay. We've got boom, 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 and boom. It's that ball here. Let's say we've got defender. So we reset. That's 1. Switching that ball 2, 3, dribble down, and then 4 for maybe a back pass for the shot. So it's that 4 to 5 range. That's what we're looking for. 5 to build out of the back and get here, and then 4 to 5 in there, right? Maybe we use the midfielder, and that'll get us 5. But that's really what I want to start to see more of 4, 5 in that middle bracket. All right, good. But oh, I promised. Let's go into the analytics. So this is probably one of our more consistent teams, the 2014s and 2012s. But we can look here and see that this has been the lowest in a very long time since December, right? December 2nd. So it's been a very long time. We've been very consistent in getting around that 60%, right? Around that 60%. And then here we fell, right? And this was mainly, I think, in the second half where we really, really struggled. And we can look at the 2012s, and I think we'll call it a day. Okay, who are also very consistent. That's fine, Jitian. Right. So if we look at this again, same thing, all around that 60. That's where we want. And this was probably the Is this the Jill Vassant game? What is this? No. Who is this? Oh, York. That was the game that no one was available. Okay. But yeah, this is consistency, right? This is what we're looking at. Okay. Good. All right, well, that's it for today. Very good week coming up. I really like the 4v4s that we did, so maybe we'll get into that. Obviously, not on Tuesday. Get ready. Defense 1v1, get into that mentality. Defense, 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 1v1, 1v1 defending. All right.